after that happened, they put some of us on a watch list. For those who were arrested, like me, kept underground, kept in. I don't think I've found the reason to talk about the abduction, right? But yes, kept in pits, kept underground. And I was eventually released. Thank God people were shouting, free your arms and all of that. And things didn't really change. Because almost every other day, even till like I think 2 months ago, I still wake up to blocked accounts. They are still watching. There are threats. As a matter of fact, I think I said this one time on Twitter, and when it went viral, I just deleted the tweet. After like 1 hour, I didn't want to talk about it. I turned down multiple asylums to stay back in Nigeria. What that means is, if I want to travel out of Nigeria today, if I want to Japa, I won't spend 1 kobo. I will leave the country. But we are here, despite everything, and we are still chasing nation building. They know this is what we do. And by they, I mean the powers that be, past and present. They know that these guys, this is what they do. They don't really have anything that gingers them. I don't like leaving my house. But you see this LGES Conference, I will happily leave my house for events like this. Not to make anybody feel scared, but my point is, if you are not on a watch list, if you cannot get easily picked up just as you are walking on the road, if you have not been in a pit before, if you've not been on the ground, then you have no excuse to be scared. You have no excuse to be scared. Some of us are, now leave how we they use the entire road. Even my brother here too. Now leave how we they use the entire road. And we are doing this with our faces out there. The LGES project, the videos we are doing, is not voiceover. My face is there. And they know what we are coming for. We are coming for good leadership. We want to be in power. And until young people realize what we are up against, we are going to keep suffering. It's home today. I don't still want to believe I'm an influencer in any way, but I have the brains and the capacity to say, let's do this, let's do the capacity. I'm not special. It's not as if now only misfitting come. In your own space, I'm not saying you should look forward to your own abduction, but in your own space you can do something. Do you understand? Okay, you don't want to go all out. You have someone on your street that listens to you. You have your gate man that listens to you. You have probably your neighbor that listens to you. You have some form of influence. Believe it or not, you don't need followers on social media. Even if you have, then that's a plus. Do you understand? So, if you are scared and you say, now wow, and you say, when will things change? Newsflash, things will not change. Because as the country is getting worse, certain people are benefiting from it. You need to understand though, as dollar is 1,600, some people that stole $50,000 some 4 years ago when dollar was 200 and something, they are cashing out though. And these people have dollars in pits. They have dollars kept in their rooms. If dollar hits 5,000, does it not favor them? But does it favor us? Because we're already talking about inflation. If dollar hits 5,000, everything that we are complaining about will go times 3, times 4. Liter of fuel will hit 4,000. So, is it until it gets to that stage? So there's really no excuse. We need to sit up, we need to start taking action, which is one of the reasons why we're starting this conference, the first of its kind, town hall meetings for millennials and Gen Zs. I look forward to, I know I don't want to answer another question, but let me just say this. I look forward to a situation where wherever they are holding town hall meetings across Nigeria, young people turn up. This is just a town hall meeting for us to get used to town hall meetings. This is just like, okay, this is how it feels. Town hall meetings, they know they plenty. But guess what? If you watch my videos, I think I spoke about it in one of the videos. They would pass paper around, people that attend town hall meetings. Write out what you need. And they will write out what they need. And it will be taken to their representative that will then supply what they need. And the caliber of people that attend determines what is sent. So if it's market woman that is attending, she will not ask for fiber optics cable. or free internet. It's the truth. She asked for grinding machine. The man who is a wheelbarrow asked for a better wheelbarrow. And when the reps provide all those things, all of us on social media will now be screaming, which kind, what, did they cause African leaders? Why were you not there to write out your own need? Why were you not there to seek accountability? So, like I said, we have no excuse. We really have no excuse, but we will get it done.
All right. So basically, what is saying is that there is no easy way to go about it. It takes boldness to just step out and make a case. Talk to people. You might not have the numbers on social media. You might not have the boldness to carry plaques and go to the front of Tinubu's White House, right? And shout at the top of your voice. But you can talk to the person by your side. You can talk to the person that you meet on the road. You can talk to the people at your office. Just find a way to influence people around you. Thank you so much for that. So the next question, you've kind of answered it already. However, I'll still ask it so that you can, double down on it. So how can we, as young people, do things from the grassroots level? You've already talked about us going for town hall meetings, but can you really go deeper into it and as to how we can effect change from the grassroots as young people? Okay, you have yours.
So the answer to this is a really long talk, but I'm just going to try and keep it brief. Number one, we need to disconnect our minds first from the idea that grassroots is for poor people. Grassroots is for uneducated people. Grassroots is for people that do not have good jobs. We are the grassroots. Grassroots is basically, it's just like how you have a continent, and then you have countries, and then you have, within the countries, you have states, and you have local governments. Do you understand? It's just basically breaking it down. So we are grassroots. And then together we make up a community, together we make up a local government, then a state, and all of that. So we are the grassroots. It's not for poor people, it's not for uneducated people. So whenever they call for a town hall meeting, we have to attend. There are town hall meetings that happen in every local government, and we have to start attending them. So that's number one. Number two, which I mentioned earlier, we have to understand that every one of us has influence. Maybe until you realize that some people's children's school fees is about 5,000, 10,000, and if you pay for one person's school fees, the way they adore you, maybe that's when you understand the influence you have. But it doesn't need to get to that. But if you can, please try it. I remember there was a time, my mom is here, please help me welcome her. It must take a lot to go from shouting free Aarons to the Aarons still doing this thing. Thank you so much for giving me the freedom to do this too, and for the support, because really, without her support, we wouldn't be anywhere close to this. Without my family's support. So, as I was saying, I was in Ekiti. I had gone to a remote area some years ago with my dad. Yeah, I had gone to a remote area. I think we went to pray or something. And we were just having lunch. And there was this guy, this young chap, probably wasn't up to 10 or 11. And he was there playing around in the canteen. Why are you playing? You should be in school. He said, we don't have money for school fees. I was just listening when someone was asking him, we don't have money for school fees. He said, money for school fees. Actually, your mama do one or two these things. Say, they don't increase school fees. And I was just listening. The conversation went into how much is your school fees? The boy now said 3,000. I'm like, 3,000? Plate of rice and chicken. Now you know this school. I didn't say it out, but I just put my hand into my pocket, called him, gave him that, and said, I don't want to see you here tomorrow. You must go to school. Do you understand? I wasn't doing that for praises. But if I had done that, maybe I would become king by now for Ekiti. And as funny as that sounds, that's the truth. The little cash that you have, people need it. If you can help, help. That's another way to grow influence. That's how our politicians are keeping a lot of people in bondage. Just give them 500, 1,000, 500, 1,000. If all of us decide to do 500, 1,000, we will increase, we will do inflation for them. Where the 500, 1,000 will not work again. So they have to do 2,000 and then we'll match it. And then they'll have to do 5,000 and we'll match it. This is, I think I'm already going to another discussion entirely. But like I said, it's a long conversation, right? So that's another way we can get involved in the grassroots. You have influence. And if you can help people around you, try and help them. Right? That's also another way that you grow into them liking you. The last one I would mention, how do I put this in the way that it will not be posted on social media without people dragging me? Not like I care, but sometimes when people drag you, they miss the message. We must know where town hall meetings are being held and attend it, whether or not we belong to that party. Because now town hall meetings have morphed into a party meeting, where it ought to be ward meetings, right? But then they will say, is this party's meeting, is this party's meeting, you must not attend. There's a reason why they call us coconut head. Are we no more coconut head? Enter. Do they want to say you should not attend? You don't have your party's card. I'm still in the process of registering. Enter. Join it. Listen. See. And this will lead me to the last point. When they start to see young people, they will become more conscious of what it is they do. All the nonsense that they do will do it less or maybe even stop. Then, leading to the next point, we need to flow with the people. As I'm talking like this, if you ever go with me to a local conference, you will not hear this accent. It's pidgin, all true. And I will not go looking like I have $5 million in my account. I'll wear short neck. I love shorts. So you need to understand that when you're going for these meetings, you don't want people you are trying to blend with to feel like you're not a part of them. This one is so you don't go there speaking shoo. No, I'm better than you. No, you need to be able to stay with them, blend with them, and then you're good to go.
Thank you so much. So, in summary, let me just try to cap all that you said. Number one, we should try to attend town hall meetings. Number two, to be able to effect the influence that we need in the society, we need to be able to match the politicians' level, right? If they are giving people money, you should as well be able to. It does not matter how small. Just try as much as possible to help people around you. That way, they don't see these people as messiahs in a way. Number three, also, when you're attending town hall meetings, don't go there looking bougie. I'll probably go there with my bonnet and my shorts, right? So I can look like one of them, right? Exactly. Thank you so much for that. So, this question is not one of the questions I was supposed to ask you, but I will ask you anything.
Things in that country because that country has a president who is the executive of the country, right? Then you have states where the governor is the executive of the states, and a lot of times the president can't tell him what to do. We've seen it multiple times where governor and president, they're fighting, and the governor within his state, he wins because he has the executive power of that state. It's the same thing with the local government. The executive of his local government. He can tell the governor, I'm not going to do this. And the governor cannot do anything about it. I don't know. Is anyone here hearing this for the first time? No? Okay. Maybe our online viewers who, we have a lot of 9 to 5 that follow us and then they ask for, streaming link, which is why we put this up. The local government chairman is very, very powerful. He does not have immunity. What that basically means is if he's still and you report him, EFCC can come and pick him tomorrow. They will not wait for his tenure to finish. So it's easy to even hold them accountable. They are very powerful though. They don't need to report to the governor on how they spend the funds from the federal government, the 300, 400 million every month. That does not include internally generated revenue. For example, some places in Lagos, because we are in Lagos, if you park on the road, those boys will come and collect money. That's internally generated revenue. Where does the money go to? Do you understand? So these guys are making money and they choose to spend it how they want to spend it. So we have to.
So you're saying that apart from the money that the federal government gives them, they have internally generated revenue.
They have a lot of internally
there's a lot of money
revenue
flowing around that we don't even know.
There are some local government
Okay,
chairmen that I know that when they finish their 4 years tenure or 8 years tenure, they live with cars and houses. They build the houses how they want to their taste. Imagine how many people that thing would have served. If they even buy a house, say, if you can say, okay, maybe the sitting room is small. No, if they want big sitting room, they will get the big. So back to what I was saying. So within ourselves, right, we should also take it as an assignment to understand the functions of the local government so we know where to hold them accountable. The president might be doing horribly, or he might be doing his best, or he might even have the best president ever, but if your local government is not functioning, the president, as much as, let's imagine the president has goodwill. I'm not saying he does not have goodwill, but I mean, facts say otherwise. But let's imagine he has goodwill and he wants to build hospitals in every state. How many states can he build hospitals in? How fast can it go? It might take him 3-4 years to execute it, but a local government chairman can take him months if he's serious. So even if the president means well and wants to do good in, say, even agriculture or primary education or medicine, it will take him a long time for him to be able to execute his heart desires. But if the local government is functioning and they have a good chairman and they have good ward councillors, we are good to go. We might not even, like I explained earlier in the opening speech, we might not need to really feel a lot of things that we're currently feeling in the economy.
Okay, you're saying basically we should not downplay the power of the local government. Don't downplay it. Great. So please, guys, I want you guys to start putting together your questions. If you have any questions to ask him, please start putting them together so that you can ask your questions. And I don't want a situation whereby I'll call for questions and I'm seeing that nobody has questions. I hope everybody is already putting out their questions.
You pass the mic around.
Yes. And if you don't, I'll come and give you the mic one by one. Don't try me.
I can do that for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have heard from the moderator. You've also heard from our distinguished guests. Please, questions are essential, very, very essential. Doesn't matter how shy you are. No one's going to be looking at your face. What we care about are those amazing questions you have for us. All right? Okay. Beautiful woman, lady. You look amazing, by the way. Please, your name and your question. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabella Adediji. My question is about...
Before you go on, let me report her. I didn't even know you were back in Nigeria. Welcome.
Please don't
She was
report
supposed to be on
me.
this influencer panel, but she told me last minute, I'm not sure I'll be in Nigeria. And yes, she is. She's supposed to come and join. Let's put her on the hot seat too.
Ladies and
Come and
gentlemen,
join
please,
us.
please, madam, thank you. We
She's
can usher you, please. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for her now. Come on now. Don't worry, there'll be light refreshments. Please. Clap for her now. She's not there yet.
so just
Thank you
to
so much.
briefly introduce her. Time when the commissioner of Lagos State demolished some houses, and I think Magodo, right, that went viral. So she was one of the people whose houses were demolished, right? So since then, she's been a really vocal voice, speaking good governance. She's always been, but that was like an elevation for her, to give her more platforms to, be able to speak her mind on good governance. So she's a really amazing person. Please, thank God she's in Nigeria. You'd not tell me you were around because of something like this. But please just put your hands together for her one more time.
Okay, so since... Hello? Yeah, okay, so you want to ask your question first?
So it has to do with these local government meetings, because I remember when you did a video and I asked, they don't put the information online. So how do we go about finding out where these people, we have the internet, we can leverage it. So if they are not putting it out online, is it possible that once we get the info, we make it go viral, that everybody is going, storming these local government meetings, because sometimes people don't know where to start from. For me, I want to be more involved because I've seen firsthand how, if you don't really pay attention to these things, it can happen to you. Like the demolition, you can't tell me that our local government chairman was not aware. Context, this Koshofe just here, Mende, this is Maryland, so Mende Villa is just down the road. It's somebody that I've met before, the local government chairman. So I'm wondering, if he knows this is what is going to happen, or he is as powerful as you've said, what did he do to say, okay, guys, I know the commissioner has come. The months before the government even came and said, okay, this is the line, and took its sweet time before it came back to say, okay, this is what you need, the permits. And for me, it's really worrisome, because are you not thinking about the lives and property of the people who, quote and unquote, didn't thin? If you, the old people, the working people, how are you protecting their lives and property when you're just taking your sweet time? And it's going to cost a lot of money to erect a fence to protect that estate. If this government was thinking, couldn't the local government chairman go on our behalf to go and meet, giving them time to put the necessary, erect another fence? And that way, you're thinking about us. You're not thinking about us now, because a lot of people have spent money. Mende Villa residents are still paying a lot of money. I think that's the cocoa that a lot of people want to know, because find out and she'll let me know. And I'm sure most people here, just by a show of hands, who knows where this local government, if you know, will bring this microphone to you. So I think all of us, I think I'm speaking on behalf of everyone.
Okay. So your first question is, how do we know? Sorry, I'm typing it down. How do we know? You're actually correct. A lot of these things are not online, but the information is everywhere. It's now a question of, wait. Do you know that there are some popular skit makers that I'm sure most of us know on either Instagram or Twitter, but when they enter into some community, nobody knows them? Are you aware? Like, they are very popular with millions of followers, but when they enter into community, nobody knows them. It's just a matter of the information that is being passed is circulating around a particular place. It will not go out of that place. If you are, like the influencers I spoke about, their fame is only circulating around social media. It's not circulating outside of it. So until they bring that fame outside of it, no one in communities would know them. What I mean, or what I'm trying to say is this. The information is circulating within the communities, the grassroots, like we call them. But if you are not there, we won't hear. Fun fact, the first time I met Gbadebo, that's GRV, he will be here soon for his panel. The first time I met him, he was running for local government chairman. He had not even contested. I think they were still contesting. But he was in Kowa. I went for a town hall meeting at his near Computer Village some years ago. This was like 8 years ago. And that's how I met him. I saw him on the stage with some people. We didn't even talk that time. But from there, I got to keep in touch with him. And then today he's doing good stuff. But a lot of us are only seeing him because he came out for governor. If I didn't go for that town hall meeting where the information was circulating, I wouldn't have met him. I wouldn't have known him. So a lot of we enter there. Ask your security. Ask the woman that sells plantain on the road. But the point is, you need to go in there, take the information and put it online. Like when you're online, like when your friend, if she's able to speak with the guys that own shops, the women that sell stuff, the security men, she will get the information. You guys too can do that. You'll get the information to know where all these town hall meetings are happening. Then the question of the local government chairman, two things. Number one, accountability. Number two, capacity. Number one, accountability. If people in Mende that was demolished do not have a good relationship with the local government chairman, and without them, he will still win an election, he's not going to do anything. Because I already know that people in Mende don't vote. I'm sorry. The well-to-do people in Mende don't vote. I know. I have records of the results, the local government results. Like I said, we have gone far and wide to get statistics. So and funny enough, if he competes again, he might win that same Mendeo. If he contests again. So if he does not find any reason to be accountable to you, why should you be expecting good governance from him? So that's why I said if we start to attend town hall meetings, they see our faces, they know that things are changing. We are not just 4 people tweeting in a room. If you know where I got that start from, it was a politician that said it. 4 people tweeting in a room. And that was one of the reasons why I said this election, I must ensure that we set up team across at least 5 states in Nigeria. And we did in like 8 states. Because that's an insult to young people. 4 people tweeting in a room with how Nigeria is going. They're calling us 4 people tweeting in a room. Whether or not you even support a candidate or not, that was an insult. So if many people and other people that are also suffering these things, if they can see this as an insult and start to seek accountability from local government chairman, things will change. The other one is capacity. There's a local government chairman in Nigeria. We went to school together. I think he's still serving, or maybe he has left. He used to come to my room when we were in school, because I was a popular guy. He used to come to my room sometimes 2 a.m. to come and disturb me. When he entered office and I started this, I became popular. People, you and I, would take the initiative and put young people that have capacity in there, that are ready to be accountable. If you don't have capacity, how would you know that there will be a demolition and you will not do anything about it? That's people's livelihoods. People have worked years. Probably when they bought the house, it was 10 million naira. Now it's hundreds of millions. Where are they going to get that money from? There's going forward, I'm going to say this, but going forward into this session, or into this program, you would understand why I'm saying this. There needs to be repercussion for leaders who say they wouldn't be held accountable, who wouldn't appear for things like this. There needs to be repercussion, or nothing will change.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Arams. So we're going to have another panel that is going to really double down on how to get accountability and how to get information. We have a CSOs panel specifically to target that. All right. So do we have any other questions?
Any questions, please? All right, thank you, beautiful lady. Your name and your question.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Rams. My question goes this. Considering how the last election went, and there's been like this political apathy among the youth and everyone, but we saw people conviction, but then the results kind of dashed their hope, and they were like, okay, I'm coming out now. I saw things about the election. I'm yet to end my voice, vote, try to make my vote count. But now I'm doing that, but the result is not showing. Some people decide to just go back and be like, I'm not doing this anymore. But then it's the first time for some people. So elections, they put the federal and state elections above the local government ones. They don't even care about that. But they seem to forget that governance starts from the grassroots. Yes. Everything needs to work in line together. We have 3 tiers of government, not 2. So we need the federal.
Briefly. Another question.
Okay. You have one? That's channel to who? Any of them? Or Arams? Okay. All right, your name and your question.
Good afternoon, Aaron. Okay, so my question is, you made mention earlier that the government, like they have accounts of each amount spent. So what happened, can you hear me? For each amount spent, they will give accounts of it, and if it's not spent well, they will give accounts of it. So what happened in the case of
Yaya Bello.
Yes.
Okay.
In the case of Yaya Bello, like you said, each of them will definitely give accounts. You made mention earlier that each of them will give accounts of the amount spent, like they are responsible for it. Like if it's not spent well, they will be punished.
All right, do we have another question so that we can answer everything all at once?
Any other person, please? You have one? Okay. Name and question.
Okay, my name is Joaquin. Well, my question is the National Assembly with money, and he also brought the judiciary too with money, and is having this issue on, is it still possible for us to get back our government that will be accountable for us. Because if you look at it, even ASUTU is also having issue with federal governments about increasement of salary, and we are not getting anything. But just recently, in less than a year, you have increased the salary of the National Assembly, the judiciary. So what is a strategy you can give youths like this
the
government
power.
from here?
That's a lovely question. One more person. Okay.
Two more questions. Interesting.
My name is Ayo. My question is, we're talking about local government election, and our goal here is to create awareness so that youths participate in this local government election, because majority of us in Nigeria focus on the federal government election, and a lot of people
Yes.
have any concern when it comes to local government election, because normally they don't declare public holiday for that day. People go about their normal work, and the election is going on. Sometimes you might not even know they are voting beside your office because there is no public holiday for that day. And then the panel here is for influencer. How do you get these influencers to use their platform to create more awareness on the local government election, particularly as we are going on now in Nigeria? If the Gen Z, I can tell you if you do your research, are not interested in anything election, majority of the Gen Z, and the population shows that they are more in the voting range. They are not interested. Not to talk of local government election, they are not interested. How do you get them involved? Otherwise, the market women and men will go out and vote, and they are easily influenced by politicians. Take it or leave it. They will be the one, the Agbero views, they are the one that will vote that day. They know the importance of having their
People.
their person being a local government chairman. So they will go out there and vote. And as you say in Mende, that the average, if I say middle class or upper class don't vote, it doesn't apply to Mende alone. Let's say the truth. It applies to a lot of places in Nigeria. They don't vote. Everybody tune on their Go TV and watching DSTV that day during the election. And as you say, a politician is saying 4 people tweeting. It is true. I will do statistics in where I stay, in my own flat, during the last election. There are 6 flats. I'm the only one that votes. And everybody is there. They're watching TV and they will tweet. The politicians understand this psychology very more than we. They know people can shout on social media.
Captured it though, but then I just want us to expand that particular issue, because I believe that what we are doing as young people, this is one of the major aspects of it, in terms of getting involved in our politics. That was, and when you speak to going into grassroots where we can get this information, then aspect of it that we must now emphasize on, after getting that information, what are we doing with it, right? Because some 2-3 years ago, there was this public hearing on social media bill that was done at Marriott Hotel, LGES Keja. That information was not out there. But another thing that we can also do to get all this information is to belong to a political party, right? You can't join these legacy parties. Let's form our home parties. There are other small parties that we can also join, full of young people. So most was there. She was a senator there. She was actually moderating, and she specifically told the DSS guys at ASPO that they should not allow us to enter that hall that day.
Okay.
Until we protested it. We were just about 10 of us, and we protested it. They are only allowing APC members to enter
So
for
basically,
an event they called public hearing. And that happened just 2-3 days ago on Monday. It was about this local government that we are talking about, the local government autonomous bill. Most people don't know that Lagos State, they are trying to overturn that Supreme Court judgment just so that they can still keep local government, status quo can still be remained at local government this thing. But was that, when we got there, it was just about 5 of us, we got this information through our party as well. and we realized that we were the only party there as outside APC at that public hearing. And when they noticed that we were there, because automatically they didn't plan to do anything, but they kept us sitting for more than 4 hours. It was happening. It was when we started protesting again, they released the documents, the proposed amendment to us, and we went through it. But at the end of the day, nothing happened. They had joined us sitting again. So I said that to say that, when we start getting this information, must know what to do with that information. We must be storming all these places in our numbers. And I think this is one of those things that Abeno can also start doing properly, massifying those places, mobilizing people to those places. Like this local government autonomy bill now, I think another hearing will be coming up in the next 2 weeks. Abeno can also mobilize young people to go to these places.
Yes,
These are the things we can be doing. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much.
These are very lengthy questions.
Yes.
You're answering them now, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, all the questions are deep. So I will just breeze through. So it's easier for us to do a lot of things when young people volunteer. It's easier for us to do a lot of things. If it gets to a situation where it's easy to pinpoint influencers that are speaking up against the government, right? They're speaking about good governance and then close their account. Influencers will not post anything. But if everyone is actively doing that, I as a person, I mentioned something, I don't like to see myself as an influencer, and that's because when I lost my Instagram handle, the first Instagram that had the history, I wasn't scared. Because I know that I have the capacity. I need to be creative, I need to bring value, and followers will come. My Gen Z team forced me to make all those videos that we made 2 weeks ago so that young people will register. And they registered. Everybody needs to understand that in that your flat hand, I was only among 6 people. You could have been the influencer to get them out to vote. When I was voting during the last elections, I stayed at my voting polling unit from beginning till the end. Only one more person stayed because it's going to happen. And when I saw foul play, I stood up. They did not know me. Those people are not on social media. But I get coconutted, online and offline. And I insisted no counting will start until people come. I'm not going to say the place, but I was really close to the express where anybody could enter and do nonsense. But what you are seeing now, is it not nonsense? So what more nonsense can you do? So everyone needs to understand that we are all influencers. If influencers choose to use their platform or not, no problem. We are good. And let's take from the last election, this is the last point I'm going to make for that question. But for the last election, I'm not trying to promote anybody on this platform, but I'm trying to make you see an example. When PO was running, he did not pay influencers. His work spoke for him. And everybody became an influencer because of him. Do you know how much was saved on media? If you had to pay influencers, I'll be tweeting every day for months. Do you know how much would have spent billions of naira? But everybody decided to say, okay, you know what, I believe in this man, I believe in his vision, I'm going to speak for him. And that was it. So if we can replicate this across the country, across our various places, the results will be amazing. I can only do so much. When we started, I mentioned that it takes an average of 2 minutes for us to do one video. If you want to really know how of information, it takes us 30 videos, 1 month. If you're posting every day, that's 1 month. There's only so much I can do. But if I have 5 other people, 10 other people that are doing this every day, it's easier. That are posting on their social media platforms, that are reposting and all of that. And the last one I want to say is structure and network. People that are doing it, support them. Don't wait until your faith does is a win. It's not until the preferred candidate becomes the president that you say you won. We won this election with a landslide, or in a, I'm not good in English like that. I like pidgin. We won this effortlessly. If it's House of Rep, new people were there, young people were there. Senate, young people are currently there. Governor, I think, okay, maybe only one state. But when has that happened before? It's not until your candidate becomes the president that you think that you won. We won. And if you have that mindset, that's why after everything that happened in the last election, we had structures in 8 states, over 300 volunteers. If I felt like we lost, I wouldn't be doing this. My other volunteers would be here. But we know the effect of what we did. So please, change your mindset that we lost. So how can we set up structure to take back power? We have already started. Maintain the momentum. That's it. Whatever it is you're doing now, keep sharing content, keep sensitizing people. If you do not have access to information, you can come on my page. All the information I have is free. Learn it, watch the video, share it, and go and teach people. I know a couple of people that have reached out to me that, that your video about 100 million. I told this person, they started shouting. Now they are paying attention to local government's check. That's it. And that way you too have become an influencer. So I think I've even answered 3 questions already. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so you're going to be saying a few things on the questions that we asked us. So yes, you can please go on.
I think the journey around what we can do and the strategies is to really hone the power of the media. And a lot of times we think the media is just social media, but there's also TV. And you'll be surprised how far TV goes. There's also radio, and then you have print. There are people in the grassroots that consume this media. So, for example, there are some Sundays where I host Robin. Was posted. Within hours, it was taken down. That shows that there's power. People are watching. That TV that you think, oh, nobody's watching, there's a YouTube channel and people are consuming that content. Arise TV, people watched it, they didn't take it down. And people started reaching out to me. And my friends in the media said, okay, do you want to come and speak to us in News Central? Do you want to come and speak to us? And before you knew it, even GRV, because I've interviewed GRV years ago when he was still running for Senate, not even for governor. It just started, picking up a lot of interest. Without me even doing so much, the media crews were now coming on their own to come and do their investigation. And it even forced the Honorable Commissioner to start granting interviews and all. And someone asked me, why did I speak out? I spoke out not because I wanted to raise money, which I needed, but I spoke out because this thing has been happening in Lagos, but people are not speaking out about it. And imagine, for me, it's a demolition that happened to me. I know of people that it has happened to, but rather than speak out, maybe fear of, what will people say? I don't want my business out there. Everybody will now know. People were not speaking out. But as I spoke out, I found out about more things. So there might be other things that you are going through that has affected you. So it has pressed your neck so much. And the only thing you can do is that voice, because they can't take away your voice. And when you speak out, what it does is it encourages other people who have gone through similar situations, if not worse, to speak out. And before you know it, it's a ripple effect. So that speaking out, it might be from a place of them I went through, but it could also be from a place of this is the information I have. I have this information, I've come here today. Who can I share this information to? For me, one of the takeaways from this session is whichever party I decide, whether it's APC or PDP, one way or the other, I must join one party. It has come to that, because maybe before these elections, we thought we were resilient people. But I asked myself, when does the price of petrol go down? When does it stop going up? And we can go on and on about the problem. So I think if we commit to one, using our voices, online and offline, going back to tell people that, okay, this person, it has happened to her and I know her, so I know she's saying the truth. If it can happen to me, and I'm as an MC or as a broadcaster, I've MC'd Lagos government events, so it's not like, oh, I'm unknown to this government, if you want to even use it as that. But I know people in the government that can call like this. But it still happened to me. So that means it can happen to anybody. Nigeria can happen to you. So cannot come physically, share the flyer, tell somebody, and before you know it, we will become a force and have that momentum. And if we have our numbers, trust me, we
Your
cannot
voices
be
will be heard.
ignored. Because me, I'm just one person, and I'm not even an influencer. How many followers do I have? But because I chose to speak on camera, it generated so much buzz that at a point we're like, hey, let them not come and target
Carry
us.
you.
But it achieved what it is.